Good morning. Thanks for joining us on our Thursday program. Getting close to the end of the week and another moist day down here in Phuket. And just had a quick look at the forecast up in Bangkok. There should be some heavy rain there this afternoon. That's going to continue on through the weekend. Hopefully it will clear up a bit for the people in Pattaya heading down there for the fireworks festival. Good luck to everybody down there. Make sure somebody takes a match. But hopefully it's getting fine where you are and you're going to see a little bit of sunshine today. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Somebody sent a message yesterday saying that they'd subscribed in the past, but they noted that they'd sort of fallen off the list. So maybe just check if you have subscribed to the channel, and that does a world of good for me. So let's move on to the story, and our first story today. And there's a bit more to this story than meets the eye. Alleged Chinese drug ring boss surrenders to police in Bangkok. And as we go through this story, you're going to be saying, I sort of remember something about that. Let's go through it from The Nation. A Chinese businessman who became a naturalized Thai after marrying a police colonel turned himself into a special team of police officers on Wednesday, strongly denying he was the boss of a drug ring, Chayanat Konchayanan. Now, you may remember that name coming up a couple of weeks ago when there was a raid on a apparent or alleged party den in the Saton area. He was referred to as Tuhao by a former massage parlour tycoon Chuit. Now, Chuit has been a very dogged former politician, former massage parlour boss who sort of names and shames these people and sends lists of names to the police to chase up. Chonat's been arrested for allegedly collaborating with more than 2 accomplices to commit drug-related crimes and allegedly collaborating with others to sell drugs and being in possession of narcotics, so basically drugs offences. And we go on to the next part of the story. The police had stepped up crackdowns on alleged Chinese mafia bosses after more than 200 Chinese nationals were arrested at a drug party in Bangkok's Saton area on October the 25th. And the police busted a restaurant karaoke joint on Charoen Rat Road after receiving complaints that the establishment was allegedly hosting a secret drug party for foreign tourists as well as gambling for patrons. So that really set off this whole Chinese mafia drug party business owner sort of crackdown. And it's been continuing, but now they've arrested who the police believe is one of the kingpins of some racketeering around Bangkok. Just noting there, Surachat Hakpan, who is the Deputy Police Commissioner, told reporters that police would proceed with the case in a straightforward manner without fear of any influence, although it was reported that Chayanat was an influential individual with the backing and supporter of certain politicians in power. So that refers to another story a few weeks ago. Let me just flick through a few pages here. A report in Thai PBS World, and it says that the Justice Minister said last month that this man had donated about 3 million baht to the Palang Pracharat Party, which is the current governing coalition party, a year ago, but he insisted the donation was legal. And former politician and massage parlour king Chuit had been running a solo campaign, or we just mentioned that a moment ago, and down the bottom there he alleges that Chinese businessmen have taken control of several night entertainment venues in the Ratchadapisek and Huai Kwang area, including a pub in Yanawa district, which is down there in the Saton area. Basically a fairly well-to-do and high-so area, but there are areas closer to the Chao Phraya, and they do have a lot of these nightclubs down there, which was raided by police last month. The police found about 300 customers, reported as 200 in the other report, mostly Chinese tourists and various illegal narcotics, including happy water. We keep on hearing about this happy water. With thanks to 5 Star Marine, our sponsors for today's program. If you'd like to head out onto one of the beautiful islands around Phuket, there's about 30 of them, and check out some of those great beaches, look around Phang Nga Bay. You can organise a private boat tour with 5 Star Marine. There's a link in the description in today's video. This is TNT. This is the TNT program, and as I speak, it is still raining outside. Let's get to our next story. And Thai Airways to borrow less amid recovery. Thai Airways International requires only half the money which it initially estimated would be needed for recapitalisation, given its consistently positive performance. A high-level meeting was told. So Thai Airways say things are better. Well, it's certainly picking up for aviation around the world as borders open and airlines get back in the sky, although some of them are demanding quite high airfares, as we've noted before. Despite improvements in the airline's operational performance and balance sheet, helped by a solid recovery in tourism, Thai Airways will still need to comply strictly with the rehab plan. A rehabilitation plan was approved. So Thai Airways, which has been in bankruptcy for the last year or so, about 3 months ago had a recovery plan approved by the administrators, so they're still having to stick to that. For this reason, the spokesman says the airline will need to borrow less than originally planned to finance its operations and recapitalise. The airline has cut its borrowing target of 50 billion baht by half. Just noting that even before the COVID pandemic hit, Thai Airways had been into the taxpayers' pockets in Thailand to the tune of about 28 billion baht. And down the bottom there, Ms. Pan Tip said despite the improvements, the airline still needs loans to maintain its liquidity and drive business growth. Well, that's the point, isn't it? The airline's still a long way from being able to run itself with its own finances. So if they're not putting their hands in the Thai taxpayers' pockets, they're now looking to get loans to keep the airline re-establishing itself, let's say. Let's check on some other news about this. This one from Aerotime Hub. Thai Airways considers bringing back the Airbus A380. The A380 is the big double-deck Airbus, and they're a lumbering giant. When you see them taking off, you wonder how on earth they get off the ground. Quite a stupendous piece of engineering. But as travel demand continues to recover in the region and internationally, Thai Airways International is considering the future of its A380 aircraft. Now, a lot of the airlines did basically shelve these huge planes because with the demand not there, these planes are particularly expensive to run, and unless they're carrying 400 or 500 passengers, they're not making money for the airlines. So a lot of these were mothballed during COVID, but noting that Emirates, I think British Airways, Qantas are now pulling some of these huge planes out of storage and getting them back onto some of their routes as they recover. Just halfway through that second paragraph, prior to the breakout of COVID-19, Thai Airways had 6 A380s, all of which were moved to storage in Thailand, 4 of them at Suvarnabhumi and 2 down at the Utapao airport, which services the Pattaya area. As you know, to bring them back and return them to service cost a lot of money. I remember when they were starting to bring some of these aircraft back, not the A380, I was speaking to a pilot of an A320, which is like a single aisle, 3 per side type small aircraft, and they were saying it was costing up to $1 million to bring one of those planes back into service after being stored for more than a year. So I have no idea what it would actually cost to bring one of these much bigger planes back into service after sitting in storage for a few years. Most recently, it also, that's Thai Airways, looked for potential parties interested in buying 6 Boeing 777 aircraft, with potential bidders having until November the 21st to put forward their proposals. They have received none. Thai Airways currently owns 46 aircraft, 6 of which are deemed as stored per planespotters.net. So anyway, some better news for Thai Airways, and let's hope they can continue to recover. But noting that at the moment around Thailand, it's some of the discount airlines that are really pushing forward and doing the best at the moment, rather than Thailand's very own legacy airline. This is the TNT program. Please, if you do get a moment, subscribe to the channel. Just over there's a button down there that you can click to subscribe. And noting that on Saturday we have our first co-host on our live program. That'll be at 9 a.m. Thai time, a young Russian expat. And he should be able to give a different perspective on this huge surge of Russian visitors coming to Thailand at the moment. And the week after that, we're going to have the doctor who operated on my eyes more than 3 years ago now, and telling you a bit more about that operation, the procedures, and also talking about other problems that older people face with their eyes. So these are great opportunities for you to get onto the magic Google machine or the YouTube machine and send us some comments and some questions. So that's the next couple of weeks on our live program on Saturdays. Now, the cannabis story, which sort of vanished yesterday, I saw nothing reported about these meetings that were being held on Tuesday, but this is from the Pattaya news.com. More than 5,000 Thai researchers file official document to Thai government to show support of passing the draft cannabis bill, noting that in Parliament next week, it's due to be discussed. There's quite a lot of dissension amongst the coalition partners, and at the moment the way the votes are counting is the bill will certainly be voted down. So there's a lot of work being done in the background to try and boost the possibility of this cannabis bill getting up. More than 5,000 Thai researchers have filed an official document to show full support of the draft cannabis bill to be used for medical purposes. Medical purposes. And down the bottom there, we're requesting for the Thai government to put aside their differences and pass the draft cannabis bill for supporting its use for medical reasons. Yes, I know it's missing an L. If cannabis is reverted back into an illegal narcotic drug, it will cause major negative effects and lose the chance to further progress and develop the country. So petitions and PR from all sides of the media flying around at the moment. Let's see what the Public Health Minister himself said. Cannabis plants are not listed as a narcotic. Only extracts from cannabis that has a THC of more than 0.2, that's percent I think, is considered as a narcotic. The last official step is to be announced in the Royal Gazette. Cannabis would not be reverted back into an illegal narcotic. Some tightening on rules around selling flowers will take place, but we will not ban cannabis again. So he's quite determined. He's put his reputation on the line, and so strong feelings from all sides of politics. And it's strange in the lead up to the next election that this has become such a big focus, when I think there's probably many other things to be discussed as we approach the next election. To the next story today, in Pattaya, police crack down on alleged transgender sex workers. This story also from the PattayaNews.com. Pattaya police inspected Beach Road last night, that's November the 22nd, and took dozens of suspected transgender sex workers to the police station for identity recording, noting that it also comes in advance of the highly anticipated Pattaya International Fireworks Festival this weekend, which is expected to attract over 100,000 visitors. I wouldn't have thought the two issues were connected, but there you go. According to the leader of the operation, many individuals whom he suspected were illegal sex workers left the road and pretended to be beachgoers, strolling the beach immediately after they sighted police officers. Would have been fun to see these people just casually walking around the beach in their high heels. There they are, the police officers along the beach road in Pattaya. 36 alleged sex workers were arrested and taken to the police station. And down the bottom there, the police stressed to the suspects that they could not loiter on the beach and offer sexual services to people walking by because it contravened the Thai prostitution law and damaged Pattaya's tourism image. Another ridiculous comment by Thai police. They don't do themselves any service by making ridiculous comments like that and this. All suspects were released, and Pattaya police pledged to continue their crackdown on prostitution every day. Perhaps they should just go and sit in any bar in Pattaya and if by any other name, that's prostitution. To our next story today, and from the Bangkok Post, broadcasting rights in jeopardy. So FIFA are not happy after they gave Thailand a discount to broadcast the FIFA World Cup games. Apparently, they're sort of being leaked out. FIFA has threatened to pull the plug on Thailand's broadcasting of World Cup final matches if the kingdom fails to meet its standard encryption of broadcasting signals. So somehow there's encryption put on these broadcasting signals, and somehow they're leaking out to countries beyond Thailand, countries that hadn't paid for the rights. FIFA's warning that Thailand's transmission access was also being used in other countries. FIFA has asked the Sports Authority of Thailand to strictly encrypt its over-the-air transmissions. A whole lot of broadcasting gobbledygook there, but obviously those World Cup games are leaking out beyond the borders of Thailand, and FIFA's not happy, and it could threaten further games if it's not sorted out. Piracy is not uncommon in Thailand. You'd probably watch the World Cup games if you went down to Patpong and bought a DVD. Let's go to our next story today, and from Associated Press, Thai authorities seeking a suspect in the southern car bombing. This was the bombing on Monday at just after 1 p.m, and it says police say they're trying to identify the suspect in a bombing of police housing that killed one officer and wounded 45 other people. So the toll of the injured has certainly risen. I think it was 16 or so reported originally on Tuesday. Second paragraph, police said the suspect drove a black pickup truck into the compound, then walked out after parking the vehicle. He was dressed to look like a plainclothes officer in the images captured by CCTV. The wounded victims were mostly civilians, including 3 children. So I suppose a question should be asked about how he even got into the police compound without some sort of ID or having his identification checked. So a bit of a oversimplification there at the top of the page. Muslim residents, almost all of Malay ethnicity, have long charged that they're treated like second-class citizens in Thailand, and separatist movements have periodically been active for decades. Heavy-handed crackdowns have fueled the discontent. It's a little bit more complicated than that. I should do a whole program about the southern insurgency, because it's been a particularly dangerous civil war that is not often discussed here in Thailand. Down the bottom there, in August, a wave of arson and bombing attacks hit the 3 southernmost provinces, targeting mostly convenience stores and petrol stations. No one claimed responsibility for the attacks, which injured 3 people. And the National Police Chief said forensic experts believe the explosive device was fashioned from a 50-kilogram cooking gas cylinder, and those gas cylinders often used in those attacks. And with that, I thank you very much for watching today's TNT. Hopefully it's a bit drier for you than it is here at the moment. But please join us on this Saturday and the following Saturday. We've got guests in our live program, opportunities for you to ask them questions, and we can have a bit of back and forth. Everybody can join in. No one is limited. So we look forward to your joining us for the next couple of Saturdays. Well, I think we'll be having guests on our Saturday programs from now on. If you could remember to subscribe to the channel before you leave today, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.